The stars were silent. Space stretched wide and endless, but on the edge of that darkness, a small human ship drifted. Inside the ship, the crew expected nothing unusual. Just another mission. Another lonely patrol in the void, but then something changed. Their scanners caught a signal. Weak, almost broken. At first they thought it was just noise, maybe a dying satellite. But no, the signal was a voice. A soft, trembling voice. And it was not human. The crew leaned forward, listening. The voice spoke again. "Please, they come." "I am waiting." The captain frowned. He had heard strange signals before, but never one like this. The voice was female. Calm, but filled with something strange, pain, maybe fear. Or was it something else? They followed the signal and found a small escape pod drifting among the stars. Cold, damaged, a pod that should not even be working. When they brought it aboard, they saw her. She looked human at first glance. 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs, but her skin shimmered faintly, like it was touched by light that was not from this world. Her hair moved as if alive, flowing in ways that ignored gravity. And her eyes were silver, deep and endless, as if stars themselves lived inside them. She opened those eyes and whispered, "I need you. I need humans." The crew exchanged nervous glances. The captain asked, "Who are you? What do you want from us?" Her lips curved into something between a smile and a plea. And then she said the words that froze every human in that room. "I want humans to eat me, but not in that way." Silence. Pure silence filled the ship. One of the younger crew members, nervous, gave a small laugh. "Is this a joke?" But it was not. Her silver eyes held no humor, only truth. The air inside the ship grew heavy. The words were strange, impossible, and yet the way she spoke them made them real. She wanted them to eat her, but her voice, her eyes told them she meant something far beyond flesh and blood. Something deeper, something hidden. The captain tried to remain calm. "Explain yourself," he ordered, but she shook her head gently. "Not yet. If I tell you everything now, you will not listen. You will only fear me." The crew was restless. Some wanted to lock her away. Others wanted to help her. She was alone, fragile and strange, but there was something about her presence, something that pulled at them like gravity itself. As the ship continued through space, whispers spread among the humans. Who was she? Why would she say such a thing? What could she possibly mean? The woman, who finally gave her name as Lyra, sat quietly in the medical bay. She refused food, refused rest. She only waited. Her silver eyes followed the humans, studying them as if she was searching for something in each of their faces. One night cycle, the young engineer visited her. "What did you mean?" he asked quietly, almost afraid of his own question. "Why would you want humans to eat you?" Lyra smiled sadly. "Because my people are dying, and only you can save us. But to save us, you must first take a part of me inside you." The words chilled him. He wanted to ask more, but her eyes told him not to. Not yet. From that moment, the ship was no longer quiet. Every crew member thought about her words. The mystery wrapped around them like chains. They wanted answers, but they also feared them, and Lyra knew. She knew the hunger in their curiosity. That was why she had come. That was why she had called them. The captain tried to keep order, but even he felt the weight of her presence. She was not dangerous, at least not in the way of weapons or violence. But she was dangerous in another way, a way he could not yet name. Every time she spoke, it was like a seed planted in their minds, a seed of fear, a seed of temptation. Finally, after days of silence, she asked to see the captain alone. He entered the medical bay, the door closing behind him with a soft hiss. She sat there, her silver eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. "Captain," she said softly, "I need you to trust me. I came here not to harm you, but to offer you something, a gift. But it is a gift that will test you." The captain narrowed his eyes. What kind of gift? Her gaze pierced through him. Calm, steady, endless. The kind that humans have always feared, the kind that humans have always desired. She leaned forward, her voice dropping to a whisper. "The kind that begins when you eat me, but not in the way you imagine." The captain's heart pounded. The room felt smaller, the air thicker. He realized then that this was no ordinary encounter. This was the beginning of something larger. Something that could change not just their ship, not just their crew, but all of humanity. And in that moment, the silence of space outside the ship was nothing compared to the silence inside his own heart. Because he knew this was only the beginning. Lyra did not sleep. She sat in silence inside the human ship, her silver eyes never closing. The crew tried to ignore her, but they could not. Every step they took, every word they spoke, they felt her presence. And still no one knew the truth. But truth has a way of breaking free. And it began in whispers. One of the doctors scanned her body. What he saw made him pause. Her cells, they were not like human cells. They glowed faintly, almost alive, shifting as if they carried fire inside them, energy beyond anything in human science. When he showed the scans to the captain, the man's jaw tightened. This is not just an alien. This is something else. The doctor whispered the word that no one wanted to say aloud. Resource. The crew began to look at her differently. Not as a woman, not as a survivor, but as something powerful, something they did not understand yet could not ignore. And that was when Lyra spoke again. You are wondering what I am, she said quietly, as if she could read their thoughts. I will tell you. But once I do, there will be no going back. The captain nodded. Then tell us. Enough of these games. Her silver eyes dimmed as though remembering pain too deep to hide. My people were once strong, she said. We had worlds, ships, knowledge. We walked the stars long before humans built their first fire. But then something changed. Our bodies began to betray us. We could no longer make the energy that gave us life. It is inside us still, but fading. Weaker each generation. We are dying. The room was silent. No one moved. She looked at the humans. But your kind is different. You carry the spark we lost. In your blood, in your breath, in the very pattern of your being. You are the missing piece. The captain frowned. And what does that mean? Lyra's voice was soft but heavy with weight. It means we cannot survive without you. It means we must take you inside us, or give ourselves to you. Her words twisted through the air like a knife. One of the younger crew members shook his head. You're saying you want us to eat you? That's insane. Her silver eyes caught his. Not flesh, not bone. Something deeper. A part of me that can live inside you. If you take it, you will be stronger than you ever imagined, faster, wiser, almost untouchable. But the hunger it awakens will never leave you. That is the curse. The crew shifted uncomfortably. Half of them were horrified. Half of them were curious. The doctor leaned closer. Why us? Why humans? She smiled, but it was a broken smile filled with sorrow. Because out of all the species in the galaxy, only you can hold it. Others tried. They burned. They shattered. But humans are different. You are built to endure. You are built to consume. The word sent a chill down their spines. The captain stood silent, his face a mask. But inside his mind raced. If she spoke the truth, then this alien woman was not just a survivor. She was a key, a weapon, a gift, or a curse. And Lyra knew what he was thinking. She lowered her voice. You think I am here to trick you, to use you. But I came here because I believe you are more than greed, more than hunger. I came to give you a choice. For a moment, her silver eyes softened. Almost human, almost fragile, but then she spoke again, her voice like iron. Know this, if one of you takes me inside, you will never be the same. Your strength will grow, your mind will sharpen, but you will crave it again and again. And if you do not stop yourself, you will consume me until nothing is left. And maybe, you will consume each other. The room went cold. A choice, a gift, a curse, and already the hunger had begun, not in their stomachs, but in their thoughts. The young engineer who had first spoken to her clenched his fists. He remembered the way she looked at him, the way her words curled into his mind. He told himself he would resist, but deep inside a voice whispered, what if she's telling the truth? What if one taste could make me more than human? The captain saw it in his eyes. He saw it in the faces of his crew. Curiosity, fear, desire, all blooming like shadows in their hearts. And Lyra watched. She did not speak. She did not push. She only waited. Because she knew. Hunger did not need to be forced. Hunger grew by itself. In the silence of the ship, as stars drifted outside, the humans began to change. Not their bodies yet, but their thoughts, their choices, their desires, and that was how it began. Not with violence, not with war, but with hunger, a hunger that no one could see, a hunger that no one could escape, a hunger that whispered in the dark, take me, taste me, become more. And Lyra smiled because she knew this was only the first step. The ship was no longer quiet. Every hallway carried whispers. Every room carried doubts. The crew tried to act normal, but nothing was normal anymore. Ever since Lyra spoke of hunger, they could not forget her words. The captain felt it most. He had seen wars, pirates, even alien battles. But this was different. This was not an enemy they could shoot. This was something inside their own minds. On the third day, he called Lyra to the command deck. She walked calmly, her silver eyes watching everything as if she already knew what would happen. "Enough," the captain said firmly. "You will tell us everything. No more riddles. No more half-truths. If you want our trust, give us the truth." The crew gathered. All eyes turned to Lyra. For a long moment she was silent. Then she spoke, her voice low and steady. "My people are called the Yelthara. We were once rulers of 1,000 stars. Our bodies carried an energy we called essence. It gave us life, strength, memory. With it we built wonders you cannot imagine. But then," she paused, her silver eyes darkening, "our essence began to fade. We grew weak. Generations passed and we could not restore it. We searched the stars for a cure. We found none. Until we found you." The words hit the humans like a storm. The doctor asked quickly, "What does humanity have that you do not?" Her lips trembled as if speaking the words would wound her. "Your blood, your cells, they echo our lost pattern. When one of us touches your kind, when we merge with you, the essence awakens again." The young engineer swallowed hard. "Merge, you mean?" "Yes," she said. "That is what I meant when I said you must eat me. Not flesh, not body, but essence. I can pass it into you. Once inside, it becomes part of you. You will be stronger, smarter, faster, almost like gods." Gasps filled the command deck, but she did not smile. Her voice grew cold. "But there is a cost. Once you taste essence, you will crave it. The hunger will whisper in your mind. It will never leave, and the only way to feed it is more essence." The captain's jaw tightened, "so we would have to keep taking it. From you." Her silver eyes met his. "Yes, or from others like me. That is why my people fear you. Once you begin, you may never stop. You may hunt us, consume us, until we are gone." The words fell heavy in the air. The crew stood frozen. A gift, a curse, a temptation. Finally, the navigator broke the silence. "If this is true, then why are you here? Why risk yourself? Why tell us this secret?" For the first time, Lyra looked away. "Because my people will not come to you. They see only danger. They would rather die than risk being devoured. But I believe different. I believe humans are more than hunger. I believe some of you can choose restraint. And if you do, then perhaps together we can survive." The young engineer whispered. "Or perhaps we become monsters." Her silver eyes returned to him. "Yes, that too." The captain studied her carefully. He wanted to trust her. But trust was hard in the void, especially with secrets this heavy. "You call this essence," he said. "Prove it." "Show us," the crew gasped. Lyra's face remained calm, but her eyes glowed faintly. "Are you certain?" she asked softly. "Once you see, you will never be the same. Curiosity is also hunger." The captain did not look away. "Show us." Lyra slowly raised her hand. In the dim light of the command deck, her skin shimmered. Then something lifted from her palm, light, liquid, and alive. It glowed like molten silver, pulsing with rhythm, like a heartbeat outside a body. The crew stepped back, awe and fear mixing in their faces. "This," she whispered, "is essence." The silver light twisted, danced alive in her hand. It was beautiful. Too beautiful. It pulled at them, tugged at their thoughts. The young engineer's mouth went dry. The doctor's hands trembled. Even the captain felt his chest tighten, as if some invisible thread was drawing him closer. "Take it," Lyra said, her voice like silk. "One of you. Just a taste, and you will know the truth." The crew froze. No one moved. But inside their minds, battles raged. Curiosity, fear, desire. The young engineer took a step forward, then stopped, sweat on his brow. His body wanted it. His mind screamed no. The captain slammed his hand down on the console. "Enough!" The silver light vanished instantly, folding back into Lyra's skin. Her eyes dimmed. "You see?" she said quietly. "Even a glimpse is enough. Now you understand why my people fear you. Why we hide? Because hunger begins with just one look. The crew breathed heavy as if released from a spell. The captain's heart pounded. He wanted to hate her for showing them. He wanted to thank her for trusting them. Instead, he whispered the only words that came to him. "This is forbidden." Lyra nodded. "Yes, the forbidden truth. And now you carry it too." Outside the ship, the stars burned silently. Inside, every human knew the same thing. Life aboard this vessel would never be the same again because the truth was no longer hidden. And hunger had already begun. The human ship drifted through the stars, but inside the crew felt trapped. Not by walls of steel, but by the memory of the silver light. Essence. None of them could forget it. The way it pulsed. The way it called. It had been only a glimpse, yet it lived in their minds like a shadow that refused to leave. The captain tried to restore order. He gave commands, tightened schedules, forced his people back into duty, but even he knew it was useless. Work could not silence hunger, and Lyra knew. She watched them with quiet silver eyes, patient, waiting. On the fourth night, the young engineer could not bear it anymore. His name was Kyle. He was the youngest, curious, restless. Curiosity had always been his gift, but now it became his weakness. He walked to the medical bay where Lyra sat alone. She looked at him the moment he entered, as if she had been waiting for him all along. "You came," she said softly. Kale's voice shook. I need to know. I need to feel it. Just once." Her eyes glowed faintly. "You understand the danger?" "I don't care," he whispered. "I can't stop thinking about it." For a long moment, Lyra only studied him. Then with slow grace, she raised her hand. The silver light returned, alive, swirling, beautiful. It hovered above her palm like liquid fire. Kale's breath caught in his throat. Every part of him screamed to step forward, to reach out, to take it. "Touch it," Lyra whispered. His trembling fingers brushed the silver glow. And in that instant, everything changed. It rushed into him like lightning. His body arched, his heart thundered, his veins burned with fire. But it was not pain. It was power. He gasped as his vision sharpened. He could see every detail of the room, every particle of dust in the air. He could hear the faint hum of the ship's engines, the blood pumping in Lyra's chest. He could feel strength rising in his muscles, his skin alive with energy. He felt more than human, but then came the hunger. A voice inside him whispered more. Another pulse, more, a steady drumbeat in his mind, more. He pulled back, gasping, clutching his chest. Sweat rolled down his face. His eyes burned with a faint silver glow. Lyra watched him with sorrow. "Now you understand." Kale staggered back, shaking. It's incredible. I've never..." His words broke, replaced by heavy breaths. His eyes locked on her glowing skin. "I need it again." Her voice cut through him like steel. "No, that is the hunger. If you give in now, you will lose yourself." But Kale's hands trembled as if fighting against invisible chains. He wanted to resist, but the voice inside him was louder now, louder than thought, louder than reason. More. 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 The next morning, the crew noticed the change. Kale moved faster, spoke sharper, reacted quicker. His eyes gleamed faintly when light touched them. The doctor confronted him. "What did you do?" Kale smirked, though sweat clung to his forehead. "I only touched it. And now, I feel alive. Truly alive." Fear spread among the crew. Some stared at him with awe. Others with horror. The captain pulled him aside. "You fool. You let her in. Do you realize what you've done?" Kale's voice shook with defiance. "I did what all of you want to do. You saw it too. You feel it too. You just don't admit it. But I touched it. And now I can't go back." The captain's fists tightened, but before he could answer, Lyra appeared. Her silver eyes met them both. "It has begun," she said quietly. Kale turned to her desperately. "Give me more." Her gaze hardened. "No, you are already burning. If I give you more, you will not control it. It will control you," he snarled, eyes glowing faintly, teeth clenched as if fighting against himself. "You don't understand. I need it." The captain grabbed him by the shoulders, shaking him. "Listen to me, Kale. You're losing yourself. Fight it." But Kale's breathing was ragged, wild. His hunger was not for food, not for water, not for air. It was for the silver fire. The crew watched, terror in their eyes. They whispered among themselves. Some pitied Kale. Some envied him. Some wondered if they too should take the risk. And that was when the truth became clear. It was not just Kale who was infected. It was all of them. even those who had not touched essence, even those who had resisted. The hunger had entered their thoughts the moment Lyra revealed the silver light. It was not just a substance. It was a seed, a whisper, a living temptation. That night, Cale could not sleep. He paced, his hands trembling, his eyes glowing in the dark. Every sound, every breath, every beat of his heart screamed at him. He dreamed of silver rivers. He dreamed of fire in his veins, and when he woke, the hunger had only grown. Lyra watched from the shadows. Her face was calm, but inside her heart ached. She had seen this before, on her own world, on her own people. The first taste always led to madness. And yet she had hoped. She had hoped humans might be different, but as Cale's silver eyes glowed brighter, she feared her hope had been a lie. The ship was no longer united. Cale's first taste of essence had split the crew in two. Some feared him, some envied him, and all of them watched Lyra with suspicion. The captain tried to hold his people together, but he could feel them slipping, one by one, into the shadow of hunger. Kyle was changing. His movements were sharper, his strength beyond normal, but so was his obsession. His eyes carried silver light now, faint but frightening. He could not hide it. And every time he looked at Lyra, the hunger burned brighter. The crew whispered behind closed doors. Maybe she planned this. She wanted us to eat her. Now we're trapped. She's using us. We're her test subjects. The captain called a meeting. Everyone gathered in the mess hall, tense and restless. Lyra stood silently at the center, her silver eyes calm. "You've kept secrets from us," the captain said coldly. "We need the truth, all of it." Right now, the crew murmured in agreement. Even those who pitied her wanted answers. Lyra looked at them, her voice soft but steady. "I told you what essence is. I told you the hunger it brings. But there is more. My people, the Ylthara, we once tried to share our essence with others. We wanted to save them. But every time it ended the same way. They lost themselves. They consumed us, and then they consumed each other." The crew stiffened. Kyle slammed his hand on the table. "She's lying. I took it and I'm fine." Lyra turned her silver eyes on him. "You are not fine. You are burning inside, Cale, I can see it. Soon you will lose control." Cale's jaw clenched. His silver glow flickered brighter in anger. "No, you just don't want me to have more. You're keeping it from us." His words were sharp, poisonous, and they struck deep into the crew's thoughts. Some nodded, whispering agreement. Maybe she was holding back. Maybe she wanted to control them. The captain saw it too. Fear was turning into suspicion. Suspicion into hatred. He raised his voice. "Enough, Lyra. Why did you come here? Why us?" Her silence stretched long. Then finally she spoke. "Because my people sent me." The room froze. They knew humans were the only ones who could hold the essence without dying. They knew your kind was built to survive it. But they also knew the risk. Once humans tasted it, you would crave it forever. So they sent me. Not as a messenger. Her voice dropped to a whisper. They sent me as bait. The crew gasped. Rage, fear, betrayal all spilled out at once. "You tricked us. You wanted this to happen. She's feeding us like animals." Cale's silver-lit eyes narrowed. "I knew it. She never wanted to save us. She wanted to control us, to make us slaves to her essence." But Lyra shook her head quickly. "No, that is not why I am here." "I disobeyed my people. They wanted to use your hunger to bind you, to make you dependent, but I wanted to give you a choice. I wanted to see if humans could be more than monsters." Her words fell heavy, but the crew's faith was already cracking. The doctor whispered, trembling. "How do we even know she's telling the truth now? Maybe this is all part of her plan." The crew's eyes turned to the captain. They waited for his judgment. Before he could speak, Cale rose to his feet. His silver glow burned brighter now, pulsing in his veins. "Why should we trust her? Look at me. I touched essence once, and I am stronger than all of you. Imagine what more could do. She doesn't want to save us. She wants to keep us weak, but I won't be weak anymore." He stepped toward Lyra. Hunger twisted across his face. The captain moved fast, pulling his sidearm. "Stop, Cale." But Cale's body blurred, faster than human reflex. He swatted the weapon aside like it was nothing. The crew gasped. "See?" Cale shouted, his voice wild. "This is what she fears, that humans will be greater than her kind. She knows we're stronger than the Ylthara. That's why she hides the truth. That's why she holds back." Lyra's voice cut through his madness, calm but sorrowful. "You think you are strong, Cale, but you are a prisoner. The hunger already owns you, he snarled, his silver-lit eyes burning. Better a prisoner with power than a weak man with nothing. The crew looked between them, torn. Some were drawn to Cale's power. Others clung to fear of what it meant. The captain's voice shook with anger. Cale, listen to me. You're not yourself. The hunger is twisting you. But Cale only laughed, a bitter, broken sound. Not myself? No, Captain. I am more myself than ever. And soon all of you will see. He turned to the crew, his glowing eyes sharp as blades. We don't need her to control it. We can take it. We can claim it. We can become more than human. The mess hall erupted into chaos. Some shouted for restraint. Others shouted for more essence. Fear clashed with desire, tearing the crew apart. And in the middle of it all, Lyra stood silent, her silver eyes watching, her face unreadable. Because she knew this was the moment she had feared, the moment her people had warned of, the moment when hunger and choice would collide. And in that collision, only one truth would survive. The ship was breaking, not from outside, but from within. The crew no longer looked like comrades. They looked like enemies. One side wanted to restrain Cale, the other wanted to follow him. Fear and desire clashed in every eye. The captain stood in the center, trying to hold order, but even he felt the weight of the hunger pressing in. Cale's glowing eyes burned like silver fire, daring anyone to stand against him. This is our chance, Cale shouted, his voice raw, powerful. You all feel it. Don't deny it. We were born human, but now we can be more, faster, smarter, stronger, gods among stars. The words struck deep. Some crew members nodded, trembling, unable to hide their longing. Others shouted back in anger, calling him mad, and then Cale turned toward Lyra. You still hold more essence, he hissed. Give it to me, or I'll take it. The room froze. The captain raised his weapon again, aiming at Cale's chest. His hands shook, not from fear, but from the weight of choice. Stand down, Kyle, I won't ask again. Cale laughed, a hollow sound. You can't stop me, Captain. You're only human. Then like lightning, Cale moved. Too fast, too strong. He ripped the weapon from the captain's grip and threw it aside. The crew panicked. Some lunged to stop him, but Cale's enhanced body struck them down with terrifying ease. He was no longer just a man. He was something more, something hungry. Lyra stepped forward, her silver eyes steady. Kyle, if you take more, you will not survive. The hunger will consume you. But Cale's face twisted with obsession. Then let it consume me. At least I will not be weak. He reached for her. The captain grabbed him from behind, straining against Cale's unnatural strength. Listen to yourself. This isn't you. You're losing everything you are. Cale's glowing eyes locked onto his commander. No, Captain. I'm finding what I was meant to be. The struggle grew violent. The crew shouted, some rushing to help the captain, others too afraid to move. The ship's alarms blared as the fight shook the mess hall. Finally, Lyra raised her hand. For the first time, her voice thundered like an echo across the walls. Enough. Silver light burst from her palm, filling the room. The crew shielded their eyes, gasping at the sight. Cale froze mid-motion, his body trembling as if chained by invisible fire. The light pulsed, wrapping him, binding him, holding him still. Cale screamed. No, I need it. I can't live without it. His silver glow flickered, weakening. His voice cracked, torn between rage and despair. Captain, help me. Don't let her take it away. The captain's chest ached. His heart pounded. He saw Kyle not as a monster, but as the boy he had mentored. A young man with curiosity, bravery, and dreams. And now a prisoner of hunger. The crew looked to their captain. Their voices pleaded silently. Decide, save him, or end him. Lyra's silver eyes met the captain's. You must choose. If I release him, he will kill us all. If I stop him, his life will end. The hunger cannot be undone. The words cut like knives. The captain's throat tightened. Sweat burned his brow. His crew waited, frozen in fear, waiting for their leader's judgment. Kyle screamed again, his voice breaking into raw desperation. Don't let her kill me. I can control it. I promise I can control it. But the captain knew. He had seen the hunger in Cale's eyes, the trembling in his hands, the madness in his voice. No one could control it. The captain stepped closer. His voice was heavy, almost breaking. Kyle, forgive me. Kyle's glowing eyes widened. No, no! The captain gave a single nod. Lyra's silver light flared. Cale screamed one final time as the glow inside him burned too bright. And then silence. His body fell still. His silver eyes dimmed. Kale, the boy who had reached too far, was gone. The room was quiet. The crew stood in shock, unable to breathe, unable to believe. The captain closed his eyes, grief carving into him like stone. He had made the choice, the impossible choice, and it had cost him one of his own. Lyra lowered her hand, her face unreadable. "It had to be done," she said softly, but the captain's eyes burned with fury. "No, it didn't have to be this way. You brought this curse onto my ship. You forced this choice." Lyra did not deny it. Her silver eyes only shimmered with sorrow. "And yet, you chose well. You saved them. You proved you can resist hunger. That is why I came to you." The crew looked at her, their fear mixed with something else now, doubt. Did she truly mean to test them? Or had this been part of her plan all along? The captain closed his eyes, grief carving into him like stone. He had made the choice, the impossible choice, and it had cost him one of his own. Lyra lowered her hand, her face unreadable. "It had to be done," she said softly, but the captain's eyes burned with fury. "No, it didn't have to be this way. You brought this curse onto my ship. You forced this choice." Lyra did not deny it. Her silver eyes only shimmered with sorrow. "And yet, you chose well. You saved them. You proved you can resist hunger. That is why I came to you." The crew looked at her, their fear mixed with something else now, doubt. Did she truly mean to test them, or had this been part of her plan all along? The captain turned away, his voice rough with pain. "No more secrets, Lyra, no more half-truths. You will tell us everything, and then we will decide your fate." Outside, the stars remained silent, but inside the ship, the weight of one choice had changed everything. Kale was gone. The hunger remained, and the captain knew the hardest decision was still to come, because one question now hung over them all. Would humanity resist the hunger, or embrace it? The ship was quiet again, but it was not the calm of peace. It was the silence after a storm, heavy and dangerous. Kale was gone. His silver glow had burned out like a star collapsing into darkness. His empty seat at the table haunted them all. No one spoke his name. No one dared. The captain carried the weight like iron in his chest. He had chosen to let one of his own die. And though the crew said nothing, he could feel their eyes on him. Some filled with gratitude, some filled with doubt, some filled with fear that their turn would come next. And always, there was Lyra. She moved through the ship like a shadow of silver light, silent, patient, watching. The crew kept their distance, but they could not escape her presence. She was the center of it all. The hunger, the chaos, the death of Kale, it all began with her. The captain finally called her to the command deck, alone. He faced her with hard eyes. "No more games. No more secrets. Tell me everything. Why are you really here?" Lyra looked at him for a long moment. Then she spoke, her voice soft but sharp. "My people, the Yulthara, are dying. That much was true. But we are not helpless. We could survive another century, maybe two, yet our leaders fear extinction. So they made a choice, a dark choice. They wanted to bind humanity to us, to make you need us, to make you crave essence until you became our slaves." The captain's jaw tightened. So Kale was right. You were sent to use us. Her silver eyes shimmered, but not with pride, with sorrow. "Yes, that was the plan. I was chosen to be the lure, to let you taste essence, to awaken the hunger. Once you hungered, my people would arrive. You would beg us for more, and then humanity would belong to us." The words hit him like knives. He wanted to strike her, to curse her, to end her. But her eyes held something else, a truth beneath the truth. "You speak as if you betrayed them," he said. She nodded slowly. "I did. I could not accept their plan. I did not want humanity to be slaves. I wanted you to choose, to face the hunger and resist it, to prove that you were greater than my people believed." Her voice grew softer, trembling. "I hoped you would be different." The captain studied her. He saw no lie in her eyes, but trust was a dangerous thing. "And if we fail?" he asked. "If we give in?" Her silver gaze fell to the floor. "Then my people will come, and when they do, the stars will burn." Silence wrapped the room. The captain felt the weight of the galaxy pressing on his shoulders. But before he could answer, the ship's alarm blared. The crew rushed to the screens, and what they saw froze their blood. A fleet. Dozens of ships, dark and sleek, sliding out of hyperspace like predators. The Yulthara had come. The crew panicked. Some reached for weapons, though they knew it was useless. The Ilthara ships were massive, powerful, unstoppable. The captain turned to Lyra. His voice was cold. "You brought them here." She shook her head quickly. "No, I broke from them. They must have tracked me. I swear I did not call them." But the crew no longer cared. Fear twisted into rage. "She tricked us. She led them here. She's the reason Kale is dead." Weapons rose. Fingers trembled on triggers. Lyra stood calm, her silver eyes glowing faintly. She did not flinch. She only looked at the captain. "You must choose. Kill me and they will take you. Protect me and they will see you as my allies. Either way, your future is bound to this moment." The captain's hand hovered near his weapon. His crew waited, torn between vengeance and survival. Kale's voice still echoed in his mind. "We could be gods," but another voice whispered deeper. "Or we could be slaves." His chest ached with the weight of choice. Then Lyra whispered something only he could hear. "Captain, I'm not your enemy, but if you wish it, you may end me now. Perhaps that will save your people." Her silver eyes softened. "Or you may trust me, and together, we may end the hunger forever." The captain stared at her, his heart a battlefield. The crew shouted around him. The alarm screamed. The fleet loomed closer. He raised his weapon. His crew gasped. Lyra's silver eyes did not waver. She waited, silent. And in that silence, the captain made his choice. The story did not end in that room. It did not end on that ship. It began there, with one impossible choice, one impossible moment. A choice that would decide not just the fate of a crew, not just the fate of an alien woman, but the fate of two species. The screen faded to black before the trigger was pulled, and the galaxy held its breath.